Dear students, welcome to the class of fluid mechanics. In today's lecture, we will study how to calculate the total hydrostatic force on submerged surface. We will also be familiar with buoyancy and Archimedes principle in this lecture. Designing of any hydraulic structure which retains a significant amount of liquid needs to calculate the total force caused by the retaining liquid on the surface of the structure. Other critical components of the force, such as the direction and the line of action, need to be addressed. Force exerted by the fluid on the surface with which it is in contact is called hydrostatic force. The point of application of total hydrostatic force on the subsurface is known as center of pressure. To find the hydrostatic force, consider a plane surface of arbitrary shape wholly submerged in a liquid so that the plane of the surface makes an angle theta with the free surface of the liquid as shown in this figure. Since there can be no shear force in a static liquid, the hydrostatic force must act normal to the surface. Let P denotes the gauge pressure on an elemental area dA. So the pressure force acting on the element will be P into dA. The total force can be calculated by integrating the elemental force. Here the value of force P will be rho GH, where H is the vertical depth of the elemental area dA from the free surface and is equal to y sin theta. The distance y is measured from the x-axis, which is the line of intersection between the extension of the inclined plane and the free surface. The integral y dA is the first moment of the surface about the x-axis. If yc is the y-coordinate of the centroid of the area A, we can express integral of y dA as yc into A. Substituting this value in the equation, we get the total resultant force on the submerged body, which is rho g hc into A. Here hc is the vertical depth of the centroid of the body from free surface. This equation implies that the hydrostatic thrust on an inclined plane is equal to the pressure at its centroid times the total area of the surface. The point of action of total hydrostatic force on the submerged surface is called the center of pressure. Since we know that the moment of the resultant force about any axis must be equal to the moment of distributed force about the same axis. Further solving the equation, we get the y-coordinate of center of pressure as the ratio of second moment of area to the first moment of area. By using parallel axis theorem, the second moment of area about O can be written in terms of second moment of area about centroid. Solving the equation further, we get the depth of center of pressure from the free surface. The first term on the right hand side of the equation is always positive. Hence, the center of pressure is always at a higher depth from the free surface than that at which the center of area lies. For submerged curved surface, the component of hydrostatic force in a horizontal direction is equal to the hydrostatic force on the projected plane surface perpendicular to that direction and acts through the center of pressure of the projected area. The vertical component of the hydrostatic force on the curved surface can be written as rho into z into v, where v is the volume of the body of liquid within the region extending vertically above the submerged surface to the free surface of the liquid. Therefore, the vertical component of the hydrostatic force on a submerged curved surface is equal to the weight of the liquid volume vertically above the solid surface and acts through the center of gravity of the liquid in that volume. I think you all are aware with one incident, which is when a bucket full of water is inside the well, it is light in weight. But when it comes out of water, it becomes comparatively heavy. The net weight of the submerged body is reduced from its actual weight by an amount that equals the buoyant force. It is because when it is underwater, there was a force acting on the bucket against the gravity, that is in vertical upward direction, which reduced the weight of the bucket. This vertically upward force exerted due to water on the bucket is called buoyancy. So, buoyancy can be defined as when a body is either wholly or partially immersed in a fluid, a lift is generated on the body due to the net vertical component of hydrostatic force. This lift is called the buoyant force and the phenomenon is called buoyancy. Consider a solid body of arbitrary shape completely submerged in a homogeneous liquid as shown in this figure. To calculate the vertical component of the resultant hydrostatic force, the body is considered to be divided into a number of elementary vertical prisms. The vertical forces acting on the two ends of such a prism will be pressure acting on the ends multiplied with the concerned cross-sectional area. The resultant force acting on the body, that is the buoyant force, will be dF2 minus dF1, which is equal to rho g into dV. Integrating this buoyant force for the entire submerged body, we get Fb is equal to rho into g into V, where this V is the total volume of the submerged body. From this equation, it can be said that the buoyant force Fb equals to the weight of liquid displaced by the submerged body of volume B. This phenomenon was discovered by Archimedes and is known as Archimedes' principle. That's all for today's lecture. We will continue this chapter with another topic in the next lecture. Thank you.